Started electric bass at 12, so I've been playing a long, long time. And just probably since high school knew that this is what I wanted to do. And but I wanted to teach too, even at that age. So that's why I pursued education. EP has become known as a smaller selections. You know, a typical album, which is a rarity now. So many groups just, or artists, if something comes out, they put it out now with Spotify. If an album has 10 to 12 tracks, EP might have 4 to 6. Sometimes you use it as more of a promo material, not as expensive either. Back when they started standardized the 33 1/3 RPM vinyl record, that became known as the long play. Prior to that, the 78 records, 78 RPMs, were shellac or other, very thick records, and they broke. And when we started to use vinyl in the industry, they found that it was more malleable and you could get more music on vinyl. That's where it first started, long play. There are only 3 major labels, and they own all the subsidiaries. And for an artist that wants to do it the old way, have the talent and have somebody groom them and put up an advance and make all that, those days are over. It's the entrepreneurial recording artist, which is great because everything is cheaper to make, and you can record on your laptop or go to a studio that is inexpensive, and you can get a lot of incredible quality music done. That's how most musicians are making it now. You have to have that full barrage of social media, and you have to have savvy and how to cut through all the noise and clutter of every other artist and get your music out there.
The motive of an EP is just it's just a tool for them to get out there and have something that they created that's maybe 4 or 5 songs, but it's something they can start selling right away. They can start getting notoriety. They can start playing shows with that. They can start building their fan base with that EP. And it's more affordable to do it. A lot of starting bands don't have money to just start recording 12 songs and spend 60 hours in the studio. And, so recording a 4 or 5 song EP is the way to go for most people to get their name out there and manager interest or label interest or whatever they're doing, and then eventually the time will come to do a full album, and that's the stepping process. In 3 words, what does it take to make an EP album? Well, I think the first thing is vision, right? I think you need to visualize kind of the end result even before you start it to know how to get there. You really have to dedicate yourself to it. Every artist has to dedicate themselves to practicing, and getting their best performance out and their best emotion out. A little patience goes a long way, because sometimes it does take time to just to get it right, So vision, dedication, patience. Between albums and EPs, I've probably done at least 40, and just singles and songs, like hundreds. So what do I see most artists go through when they're doing their first EP? When it's a band starting off, they're a little bit indecisive about exactly what they want to do. They kind of think they know what they want to do, and then that's where the breakdown begins. Most people are kind of discovering themselves and their sound when they're working on their first album or EP, and that's kind of where I come in and say, hey, let's try this a little bit. What if we do that? They kind of find themselves in the process, and I would say that's like a very common thing that early bands and musicians are going through when they're doing those first recordings. They're kind of learning the ropes and discovering their sound and how to play better or sing better, and it's a work in process. When it's done and they come in for their second album, they're already kind of primed for it and know what to expect, and then it kind of almost goes easier. But there is a journey of self-discovery for many artists that I work with when they're starting their first album ever, and they're like in the environment of the studio and things start to happen. A lot of things tend to change. Music changes. Their ideas of what they thought was cool change, and it all changes for the better. So what is a standard session like when someone comes in here? So usually they call me, we set up an appointment, you know. They walk in, we do a little cocaine. No, that's a joke. You know, if it's like someone who's doing a hip hop track, they'll usually bring me a track, you know. And if I don't have to play any music, I'll import my track into Sonar, and well, they'll come in this room in here, and I'll just set them up right here on the mic. You know, set them up, get a good level for their voice to project onto the mic, and well, go over here and we start recording. It's really quite a simple process. I'll talk back through here to whoever's in the booth, and they're gonna wear headphones, and we'll start recording. I'll start tracking vocals one by one. It'll usually last an hour or 2 hours depending on the song, and then we'll mix. Because there are artists that just can come in here and just do 1 or 2 vocal takes and the song's done. And then there are people who are a little bit unsure and they want to keep trying and trying and trying and trying. So you've done, you know, 30 vocal takes and you end up choosing the 5th one you did anyway. That can go anywhere from a couple hours to a couple days to get a track done. It just really depends, and everyone's different.
Album artwork is like essential. That's how we take majority of the music that we play on air in the past.
Yeah.
I'm a visual arts person. That's actually what my show, The Neoclassical Ideal, is about, that I do with Kristen Eves. And so like album art is really important to me. Like if somebody has cool album art, then like that's what's going to get me to listen to their album if I haven't heard of them any other way.
We judge books by its cover all the time.
We judge books by the cover. Like I don't have time to sit down and like listen to a whole bunch of cool albums that like I know I would love, but like.
So this is
That's how I
advice.
get it.
If you suck as a musician,
At
just
least
focus
have good
all your time on album artwork.
That's it.
I mean, it's like anything, you know. If I'm looking through a CD store and something pops out and
Just like at
grabs
the
my
record store.
attention,
That's how
maybe
people dig
listen
through
to
crates.
it.
They see the picture.
Vinyl is coming back simply just because of the album art. People like to hang vinyl. People like to seek through it and just get lost and or captivated in the concept of the album. EP albums are about visual concepts.
As an indie artist, you're gonna have a lot of money left over to be able to put that into another project. Record your first music video. That is when the story is going to come alive. You don't need to wait for somebody to find you. Of course, that would be very nice. But there's just too much out there. So if you do all the right steps, we're not talking about fame, but you could still be very successful and make money in this industry by being an indie artist if you play it smart. And a big step is to make your EP album.